right, we're gonna get started on this. This looks like they're gonna be pretty easy to fit, so I'm gonna start by just sanding some of the bumps off, because you look at the insides of these here, if you can see it, there's a lot of little bumps and just the texture from the 3D printing, and it's really only on the inside because it's not really like that on the outside. You've got a really nice fine grain on here, so be kind of interesting. And I'm going to worry about the sanding on the outside of the bodywork later, as these are going to need a bit more fitting, but I'm going to start sanding all of this off. And it's just like a 180 I got right here, but that's all I'm going to do is take any of the mounting surfaces and sand this off. So this ought to be interesting. And it looks like it's clearanced in on the inside for that. And I'm kind of being careful where this stuff is, trying not to crack some of this, because I'm not really sure what's flash and what's supposed to be there. Because I noticed on the fronts, here, we'll keep sanding here. And it comes off really easily, the texture. So, all right. So this is going to go on here. Now, I'm going to do it kind of two ways. The front one is much more obvious, that there is a groove in there and it fits this body line, which kind of helps center it. So it fits really good in there. It's kind of snug, so I'll sand that a little bit without sanding it off. But on this rear, I'm just going to sand that off a little bit because it's just a little easier to do it that way. Try not to go too high. Watch what I'm doing, and so I don't remove the visible part. So there we go. So that it kind of sits down a little bit more flush right there. So you get an idea. Okay. And then my plan, because this kind of tucks in right in here. So the body line kind of tucks in right there. It gives you an idea where to locate it and follow the body line back here. So kind of all neat stuff. Really kind of tells you where it needs to go, which is good. And then I'm going to leave this in here, and I'll cut that out afterwards. Or I just take my Dremel, just hollow it out, because I'm going to get it right on there and glue it right there. So that's my plans anyway. We'll see how it actually goes. This is going to be interesting to try and glue this in place and keep all of this on there. And then fill that body line, because that I think is going to need a little bit of putty, but we'll see. Trying to get all of this stuff to line up and all these things, but it's nicely fitting right in there until I get the glue. That's the part I'm worried about, is until I get the glue on it. So I won't tell you how many times I've had a part that I thought was fitting, then I've got the glue on it. There, just kind of V'd that a little bit more for that area. So now it's just sighting where I see and what I see as far as getting it to fit. Okay. Okay, I'm liking how that fits. Let's see. It's kind of the same way. It's like right out of the box or right out of the print or whatnot. Seems to go pretty well for fitting this stuff. Now on the front, did notice there's a lip right here, and that seems to line right up with the fender when you get it on there. At a certain point, you get it lined up. Kind of see right there. Seems like that helps locate it and position it. So it's got some subtle areas where it helps you locate it. So let's get some of this ribbing off right here. You kind of see it all? All right. See right there, you can kind of see me hitting it real quick with the sandpaper. Definitely showing up, so let's get some more sanding going here. All right, let's see. Now for this. Just because I think I know what I'm doing doesn't really mean I know what I'm doing. But it's just my plans, and we'll see how they work out. All right, let's get this V opened up a little more. And then the front, I think, let's see how it fits. I'll come up here and look through the camera and see if I can see it the way it appears to be fitting. All right. I think it's really close to that line, but with that locating spot right there, kind of tells me where it needs to go. So then I got to bring the front down. Well, let's see about gluing that. All right. Moment of truth. Get that there, that there. And hopefully I don't glue myself to it. Got a little bit of glue that's squeezed out here, but I'll clean that up. This seems to come point out. And clamps. I'll put some clamps on it to kind of help hold it, hopefully. But it's being a bit stubborn. Plus the angles. This one's got a really strong wire, and these ones are much weaker. A little bit of a gap up there, but I'll be filling that in. That'll be the easiest part to actually work on as far as sanding and painting and filling. Be right on top. It'll be the most visible too, but we'll get that taken care of. But most of the front is in place and pretty solid. Real solid there and real lined up right there. So give me an idea what this is going to look like on it. This looks like it has a bit of a curve. So hopefully I can straighten that out when I glue it in place. But these I'll have to glue on later because my plan, I'm pretty sure these are going to be like a flat black or semi-gloss black, just like the spoiler. And hopefully the back half of this will be semi-gloss, and this will be whatever body color I choose. All right. All right, let's get a big wad of glue and get that back one on. So we can get one side done and see what we think. All right. Probably a different way of doing this. Maybe not the right way, but it seems to work for me. Been asked a lot why I put my glue on with toothpicks like this, and I find it's a way to smear it around, control the glue, put as little or as much as you want on the toothpick, and then glue the piece in place. Just something that's always worked for me, and I did it with my windows before I knew about clear glue or the white glue. Okay, now let's stick this on. And so now I know for the next time, don't put so much glue on the front portion there. If you get super glue on your fingers and you get fingerprints, this is a good time to sand it off because you haven't done any primer or body work yet. But here we go. All right, I got to hold this for a little bit and then we'll get the other side done. So I'm going to jump ahead on you. So we'll continue on with this. All right, we've given it some time to dry, hopefully, and some fitting. And while I was doing it, I was working on this side as well, doing exactly what I just filmed. So now it's about time to glue these in place. So just kind of tight while I'm working it and letting the glue dry and getting all the parts to fit. Kind of a puzzle. But let's see. That side's looking pretty good. And then this, kind of like this, fits. There's a little notch there, so it fits on that. And then get that squared up in the front. And same thing, there's a little spot right there where it kind of just tucks in. But it kind of tells me I got the front and rear fenders located in the right spot. And it's looking pretty good there. But yeah, that's something I can glue on after the fact. But all of it shows the door, and you can kind of see some of my glue fingerprints, but that'll be all smoothed out in the bodywork here. But there's glue in the seams. You can kind of see it right there. But those are going to get bodyworked even better than that. And then those will get rounded out. But definitely a lot of glue in there. Holding it, it's pretty solid. So I guess I'll have to call this a glue bomb, that's for sure. But I'm going to start sticking these on, and I'll continue on there. But it's a little hard to try and do this while I'm filming it and everything. But since you saw me doing the one side, I'm going to jump into finishing the other side here. But all the fitting's been done, all the sanding on the inside. has been done. And then we'll clip this spoiler next, but these are going to stay off. But I'll get these two sides on. So let's get crazy. Oh. Lots of clamps seem to certainly help. Because holding it and holding it and holding it, no fun. All right, gave it a little bit of time to harden, so let's see where we're at now. Well, sucker's pretty on there. Yeah, let's get this other side on. All right, got that one clamped, kind of glued. But the last thing I want to check into, I mentioned I'm really not too fond of the extra spoiler on this one, so let's clip it off and see what is under it. Whoops. Even got the line. Nice. Okay. So that'll... Yeah, I'm liking that. So we'll get that glued on. See how that works, and I'll get my sanding sticks and remove that extra piece. Work on that a little bit. But she's looking really good, so I'm really happy with the way this stuff is roughing in. It's definitely going to be an interesting build, but all right. I'm going to let that dry, and I'll work on this a little bit later and see about getting that glued on the back. But we'll get that trimmed up just a little bit. But for now, that's going to give this thing a little bit of a break. Here, let's see what this looks like on this side before we go. Here we go. All right. All right, I'll get my Dremel out and I'll do this too along with those. But we're going to stop right there because I got to let the glue dry and continue on with a few other things. So you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And we'll continue on with this, but we'll get it roughed in for sure. And won't be long now. That's pretty much roughly done, mainly done. And, you know, fine-tune the bodywork, but doesn't look like it's going to be too much. So thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.